Green Tree Productions is proud to present Duncanville Weekly News. It's the good news just for the City of Champions, Duncanville, Texas. And now, here's your host, John Thompson.
Hello, world, America, Texas, and Duncanville, and welcome to this edition of Duncanville Weekly News for the first part of May 2017. Glad you're logged on and watching. Well, as you can see, we're in the Panther dugout, and Coach Fahey will be in here in a minute to go over the highlights. But first,
it's springtime in Texas, and that means Duncanville Panther Baseball right here on Duncanville Weekly News and the Panther Dugout Show. The Panther Dugout Show brings us updates and highlights of the past few games and a peek ahead to the Panthers' next games. The Panther Dugout Show is brought to us by James Memorial Chapel, the Pope Financial Group of Raymond James, by the Wolverton Company, serving the heating and cooling needs of the Duncanville area for longer than anybody can remember, by Chubby's Family Restaurant on Cockrell Hill, for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, and there's a reason why they do a lot of catering. Leon Miller Commercial Properties. Need some commercial space? Call Leon at 972-709-7181. By Roma's Italian Bistro at 100 South Main. Call 972-298-5900 for free delivery or dine-in. Entries are prepared freshly cooked for every order. By Glow Family Dental, General and Cosmetic Dentistry. Your smile is their top priority. They are here at 427 West Wheatland or call 972-298-2027. Glow Family Dental. And now with the Panther Dugout Show, here's John with all the highlights.
hello, baseball fans, and welcome to the Panther Dugout Show. As you can see, Coach Fahey is here to tell us about the exciting ending that he had to, and we had to, his regular season. And going into that final couple of weeks, all but two teams' fate had been decided, and everybody else was hoping to make the playoffs too. So Scott, I guess MacArthur is the first two, and they were right in there with you, right?
Yeah, before the season started, we knew that in our district it was going to be a battle between several teams to get into the playoffs, and luckily for us, we started playing good at the end of the season, and so we go into the matchup with Mac, playing pretty good baseball and hoping to get a couple wins against them.
Well, you played there first, so tell us about it.
All right. So your Panthers traveled to Irving MacArthur on a Tuesday night. Pretty stiff wind blowing. We pick up action in the top of the first with one out and nobody on. And two-hole hitter George Trevino blasts a double into deep left. And after a good effort by the left fielder, George is in safely at second. That's followed by a soft fly in the left by Ray Jaramillo. That puts runners for the Panthers at first and third. Jaramillo later advanced to second on a wild pitch, while Sanchez hits a ground ball to second, or to the shortstop. The ball gets away from the third baseman on the throw. Trevino scores on a play, but Jaramillo is thrown out at home plate, and that was all the Panthers could muster in the top of the first. In this important district game, we send senior Raul Gonzalez to the mound, and he pitched excellent. Here in the top of the fourth with one out and nobody on, the tie score at 1. Andrew hits a base hit in the right field. And that's followed by a Noah Martell single in the left. That puts runners at first and second for the Panthers. The inning stays alive with a walk to Nick Chavez to load the bases. But within 2 outs, the inning ends with a fielder's choice, 6-4. Then in the bottom of the 6th, with a 1-1 tie, runners at second and third and 1 out, MacArthur takes a 2-1 lead on a single to left. That puts runners at first and third. And we bring in George to try to end the Cardinal rally. And he promptly does that by getting a first pitch, 6-4-3, double play to end the inning. And that stops the Cardinal rally and gives the Panthers a chance to make some noise in the top of the 7th. With 1 out and a 1-2 count, with nobody on to Devin McPhail, he lines a single in the center. That's quickly followed by a sharp ground ball to the third baseman off the bat of Raul. Third baseman knocks it down but throws late to first. And then with 2 outs, 3-hole hitter Ray Jaramillo singles into right field. McPhail hustles around second base. He scores a tying run as a throw hits off the backstop. And both runners advance another base on the throw, putting runners at second and third with 2 outs and a tie score. Alex Sanchez draws a walk to load the bases. And then Andrew Budzinski, it's a line drive into right field. We scored 2 more runs as the ball is cut off. Elias scores the 4th run, and the Panthers have a 2-run lead headed into the bottom of the 7th. And then with 2 outs, nobody on, Trevino still on the mound. This ball game gets wrapped up with a ground ball to third. Nice play by Ray. And the Panthers come back to win this one by a final of 4-2. Outstanding job by the Panthers of staying gritty and competing through all 7 innings. Great comeback win. Then on Friday, the Cardinals came to our place as we go over the ground rules and check the south wind blowing out. George gets the start in this contest. And in the bottom of the 1st, Raul leads off with a sharply hit double down the left field line. As Raul stays hot at the plate. That's quickly followed by a ground ball up through the middle. Nice play by the shortstop to knock it down, but no throw to first. And the Panthers have action with runners at first and third. Pitcher then balks, which allows Raul to score from third and Trevino to advance to second. And then Ray stays hot and hits a bullet back through the middle. It's snagged by the pitcher, who then throws it into shallow left center field. And after Trevino goes back to second and tag up, we wave him all the way around, and he's able to score to make the score 2-0. And after 1 full, the Panthers are ahead 2-0. In the top of the 6th with the score 3-2, MacArthur, with the bases loaded, we get a big double play to get 2 outs. Another run scores for their 4th run. JP then comes in and gets a big strikeout off the 4-hole hitter to give the Panthers a chance to come back and rally. Nick Chavez leads off the 7th with a leadoff walk. And with 2 outs and a pinch runner on third, Elias scores to make the score 4-3. Raul has a good at bat, draws a walk, and the Panthers have the tying run on first. And then George gets hit by a pitch in the hand That moves the tying run to second, the winning run to first in Trevino. We would later get some bad news on the condition of his hand, but he battled through the pain and was able to give us a chance to win the game. With 2 outs, tying run on second, Ray Harmillo singles in the left field. I send him home, and he's thrown out by about 2 steps at the plate on a good throw by the left fielder. Bang, bang at the plate, and MacArthur comes away with a win in this one by a final of 4-3. As both teams had a hard-fought baseball game that Panthers came up short just by 1 run. So after the series split against Irving MacArthur, we go into the final week facing Grand Prairie and hoping for a sweep to try to get to 7 wins and 7 losses and try to determine some of our own fate. So we'll check the highlights. The next Tuesday, Grand Prairie came to Bob Brownback Field. And again, senior Raul gets a start on the mound. Panthers get an early lead. In the bottom of the first with no score and nobody on, Raul leads off with a single on the left. That's quickly followed by a nicely executed hit and run by Andrew and Raul. That puts runners at first and third. And Andrew hustles into second base on the throw with a headfirst dive. And then both runners eventually score on this single in the left field. Ray tried to take second on the throw, but Grand Prairie made a good play. But we'll take those 2 runs in exchange for an out any day. In the bottom of the second, after Grand Prairie had tied the score at 2, Nick leads off with a walk. Chris Polk then hits a flare down the right field line. It falls fair. And the Panthers have runners at first and second. They would later move to second and third on a ground ball to the first baseman by David Baczynski, which opened up first base for an intentional walk to Raul. And then with 2 outs, Ray does some more damage with a bases clearing 2-out double that plates 3 Panther runs. Those were RBIs 3, 4, and 5 on the night for Ray on that one swing. With the Panthers leading by a score of 5-2, Alec gets a hold of one and hits it off the Bob Romback sign for a 2-run home run to give the Panthers a 5-run lead after 2 innings. Big night for the seniors that night. In the top of the 7th with the score 7-3 with 2 outs and 2 guys on, Jonathan Pineda comes on in to get the save with a ground ball up the middle. A nice play by Andrew at short. And the feed to Raul for the force play at second. And the Panthers keep playoff hopes alive with a 7-3 victory over the Gophers of Grand Prairie. So after the first home win against Grand Prairie, we're in a must-win situation when we travel to Grand Prairie. We don't know what's going to happen between Irving and Cedar Hill, as well as Irving MacArthur and Nimitz. So we know that if we don't win, then our fate's out of our hands, but winning gives us certainly a chance to force a tie for 4th place and possibly have sole possession of 4th place. Just depends on the other teams and how they fare that final night.
So all the scores came in, and the Panthers tied with MacArthur for the 4th and last playoff position. They had a playoff game at Grand Prairie, and here's what happened.
So here we are in the 1-game playoff for the 4th and final playoff position. Panthers taking on Irving MacArthur at the site that we visited last night against Grand Prairie High School. It was a late night, the night before, with coin flips to determine home team and jerseys and dugouts and everything. So here we go with the action. In the top of the first, Raul leads off with a walk. And then with 1 out, Ray hits a ball sharply in the center field to put runners at first and second. Alex Sanchez then draws a walk to load the bases with 1 out. And then Devin lifts a fly ball in the center. Raul tags from third and races home to score the Panthers' first run. Good base running by Ray at second to advance to third on the play as the Panthers take a 1-0 lead. Senior Raul is on the bump for this matchup, and he pitched outstanding again. In the top of the fourth, with the score still 1-0, we get a leadoff walk to Nick, and after we pinch run for him with Isaiah Anderson, Anderson's at third with 2 outs. Noah hits a chopper to short, and on the high throw that pulls the first baseman off the bag, Noah's able to beat it out at first base. That plates Isaiah, and the Panthers now have a 2-0 lead. In the top of the fifth, with the score still 2-0, with nobody on and 1 out, Andrew lays down a bunt. The pitcher's throw is high and wide to first, and Andrew's able to get to third base safely with 1 out to create a scoring opportunity for the Panthers. With 2 outs and Sanchez at the plate, we get a pass ball that scores Andrew from third to make the score 3-0. In the bottom of the fifth, after 1 run had already scored to make the score 3-1, we get a huge pop out to short to end the Cardinal threat and keep the lead at 2 runs. In the bottom of the sixth, with runners on first and second, nobody out, relief pitcher Adam Mojica gets a ground ball back to the mound. A wide throw to third allows 1 run to score. That pushes the score to 3-2 with the tying run at third. Next batter then hits a line drive in the deep left. That ties the score at 3 and puts runners at second and third. We get a big play here with the infield drawn in. Ground ball to first. Noah makes a good play and good throw to the plate for the second out of the inning. But the Cardinals would end up getting 2 more in that bottom half to run the score 5-3. So with the season on the line, Mark Ibarra leads off the top of the 7th with a single in the left field. That pulls a tying run to the plate. Pinch hitter Hector Cron lines a single to right. Panthers now have the tying run at first base, go-ahead run at the plate. And with Raul at the plate, he lays down what's to be a sacrifice bunt, but with his hustle and hard work, he beats the throw to first base, which loads the bases with nobody out. Andrew Budzinski then takes the ball off the back for a hit by pitch that scores a run to make the score 5-4. Ray then follows with a sac fly into right field. That plates the tie-in run and George Trevino, who is pinch running. And then Alex Sanchez with 1 out. And man at third, second and third, hits a sac fly in the center. That plates the Panthers' go-ahead run. And the Panthers take a 6-5 lead into the bottom of the 7th inning. And with 2 outs and a man on first, Jonathan Pineda delivers a pitch to the plate. It's lined to right. Chris Polk makes the catch, and the rest is history. The Panthers secure a playoff berth by finishing 4th in District 7 6A. As we see the players finishing their dog pile celebration. And congratulations by new athletic director Clint Harper.
Each show we have a play of the week, and Scott, you had a bunch to choose from this time. Who is it?
Well, we're going to go with the final out of the 1-game playoff against Irving MacArthur. Bottom of the 7th with the Panthers winning 6-5. Jonathan Pineda on the mound. He delivers a pitch, and it's lined to the right fielder Chris Polk. He makes the catch, And then it's never too early or too late for a dog pile. And that's why it's the play of the week.
On a very well-played game, and good luck to the Duncanville Panthers in the playoffs.
The play of the week is brought to us by the Pope Financial Group of Raymond James. For all your investment needs, call John at 972-780-0533 or come by 222 East Wheatland right here in Duncanville. It's the Pope Financial Group of Raymond James.
So the final standings in District 7, 6A look like this. South Grand Prairie was the only undefeated team in the district and are, of course, the champs. Cedar Hill finished 5 games back in second place. Irving Nimitz was 8-6 and will be in the third slot. And the Panthers won the playoff for fourth place and the last playoff spot with MacArthur, they had tied for fourth. Irving was 6-8. Grand Prairie was 5-9, and DeSoto was 0-14. And going into the last week of play, DeSoto was the only team that didn't have a chance to make the playoffs. So it's by-district time in baseball this spring, and as the other sports, the fourth-place team in a district plays the first-place team in the by-district, and we're the fourth-place team. So, Scott, tell us about who, where, and when.
Well, we're going to face San Angelo Central. They were the district champs out of District 8 6A. In fact, they beat Waco Midway in a one-game playoff to determine the district championship. And so we like our chances. They're similar to our team. And so going into the series, both coaches agreed on a best 2 out of 3. We wanted a doubleheader on Saturday. They wanted a doubleheader on Friday. We lost the flip, so we're playing a doubleheader Friday starting at 6 p.m. at Burnett High School, just west of Georgetown. Game 3, if necessary, will be Saturday at 12 o'clock noon. And hopefully out of those 3 games, the Panthers can win 2 and bring home a by-district championship.
Okay, Scott, well, best of luck, man. We're looking forward to the Panthers going deep. And thank you for joining us for this edition of Duncanville Weekly News. We'll be back on May the 16th with the highlights of all the games played between now and then. As we close, let's see some more sights and sounds from the City of Champions, and we'll be back May 16th.
James Memorial Chapel is the only family-owned funeral home in Duncanville and is proud to offer caring and dedicated services from familiar friends. Rick James and his family, the owners of James Memorial Chapel and Funeral Home, have served Duncanville area families in their time of loss since 1998. A beautiful and spacious chapel is offered, and James serves all cemeteries. When it comes to finding people you can trust in a time of need, you can turn to James Memorial Chapel. No one else knows families better. 811 South Cockrell Hill in Duncanville.
It's always fun to end the season with a win. And believe me, I've been the person on the other side of that, and it's not as much fun. We just continue to celebrate. Long past the celebration needs to be over because we're already working on next year. And I keep telling the girls we're working on next year right now. And they still want to continue to celebrate this year. I was telling Coach Samples that I went up there and I was just fussing, and he said, Coach, just sit down and be nice. If we won state in football, I'd still be celebrating till May. I don't believe that, but he can say it all he wants. Thank you very much for that honor. Jack told me I was going to hit 1,100. I don't keep up with wins. I do know we've lost 208 losses. And I have 208 losses in my 40 years of coaching. I do know that number. But he said there was a good chance I was going to hit it at the state finals. And I said, don't you dare tell a soul. I said, this is about these kids. We don't need to put any more pressure on these kids than what they already have. We need to get this win. They don't need to be doing it for me, or if you don't have to do it for me, no, you don't say a word. And then after we won and that banner came out, several friends and family caught me spanking his butt over there on the side while they were celebrating that. So that's what that was all about. My sister says, why were you spanking Jack's butt? Because he told people it was going to be the 1,100th win. But it was really nice. It was really pleasant. I need to thank people, as Steve did. He kind of stole some of my thunder, but I need to give special thanks to John. John, where are you?
I'm way back here.
That was one of your better videos. Thank you very much. That was real good. And Martha and also Steve. Steve Martin, you know, we can't do it without you. This banquet is wonderful. It was so nice not having to be in the arena and setting up for 4 hours to get it prepared, and then knowing that tonight